After years of hopping from broker to broker to broker, I finally found one that I actually like. So in this video, I'm not only going to tell you which broker I currently use, but I'm also going to share with you 5 different things that you should look for inside of the broker that you may be considering in case you want to continue your search for looking for brokers. So I do have some notes here, so I want to make sure that I capture everything. So let's hop right into it. So the first thing you want to focus on, obviously, is regulation and safety. So when it comes to us trading things like US30, gold, specifically XAUUSD and other assets, a lot of times, especially here in the US, we have to look for other resources in order to trade these things. So the importance of regulation is going to be important. So of course, if you're looking at a US broker, you're going to go to something like SEC website or FINRA broker check. And basically that is just going to be the way for you to check out those brokers. But when it comes to these offshore brokers, basically brokers who are in other countries, it's a little bit more challenging. Now, some of these brokers are authorized inside of their current country, and that's totally cool. A lot of times they'll have the license number or some sort of number at the bottom of their website in the footer, or at times you may see it in the About Us section. And of course, take that extra step. Look up that information for that particular country, because a lot of countries do have these things online where you could just go ahead and check it out if you want to.
Have you ever thought that you had to sit in front of charts all day in order to make money from the markets? Well, in this How to Trade with a Full-Time Job kit, I'm going to show you how to master trading in just 1 hour per day without sacrificing your job. You're going to get the strategies that I personally use in order to be able to make time in order to trade and learn and do whatever else I need to do inside of my life.
So when it comes to those things, basically take that extra step. And the thing to really be conscious of is basically knowing that just because they're regulated in one country doesn't mean anything to you if you're not in that country. So basically, it doesn't matter which broker it is. They could have licensure or authorization in their country. If it's not my country, then it's basically an offshore unregulated broker. So that's basically the mindset that I have when it comes to choosing these brokers. And I'm going to share with you by the end of this video which broker I use and why. And basically, I still do look at them as an offshore broker. So those are a couple of things to look for. So when it comes to commissions and spreads, it's going to be the second thing that you look for when you're evaluating a broker. And this is super important, because if a broker has really wide spreads, it's going to eat into your profits, and basically that's not good for anyone. So a way to check that is to look at the bid and the ask price on that particular broker. And then let me go over to my computer so that way I can show you exactly what I'm looking at when I'm evaluating the bid and the ask price, and then also give you a quick overview of what that means in case you're a new trader and you're trying to figure out what this actually means for your account. All right, so here we are on my computer, and this is a screenshot from a broker. And basically, if you see these numbers, one of these numbers will be the bid price and the other number will be the ask price. So basically, the bid is what buyers want to buy it at, and the ask is what sellers want to sell it at. So when you're looking at these numbers, the price that sellers want to sell it at will always be higher than a price that buyers want to buy it at. Of course, buyers want a bargain and sellers want to maximize the amount of money that they get for something. So it just makes sense. So these red and blue colors may be swapped on the broker that you choose. So focus on the value and not necessarily the colors. The higher value is going to be the price that sellers want it for. So if we look at these two numbers, 32.2960 and 32.2979, you take the bigger number and subtract the smaller number and you get the spread. And in this situation, the spread is 0.19. So what that means for you and your account, as soon as you press that button to either buy or sell, the market has to move 0.19 in your favor in order for you to start seeing a profit. So you may have seen on particular brokers, or just in general, you press that buy or sell button, it's going in your direction, but you're negative. And you're like, why is it not positive? And it could be because of the spread. So it's really important to just really understand that concept before you devote all of this time and money into a particular broker, and basically they have really wide spreads. So for me, when I'm looking at spreads, generally anything under 1.00, so basically $1, is going to be a really good spread amount. I've seen in some really high volume times like NFP or CPI that really jumps up to maybe 2.5 or maybe even $3. I've seen $5 spreads. I've seen $20 spreads, which are insane. So just make sure that when it comes to those high volume times, if you choose to trade those, just know that's something to expect and there's really nothing that you can do about it. So let's go back to the camera. So when it comes to a good broker, basically you should be looking for something like low variable spreads or low spreads or something like that. Basically, that's something that you should look for. And then if you do decide to sign up for an account, just evaluate, just look at the market that you're interested in during the time you normally trade, and then just look at what the spread is. And then that could help you make a determination as to whether or not that's going to be a broker that you're going to devote more money to or put more capital into or not. I've created another community here on School called Consistent Profitable Traders. And if you want to join, you can go to school.com/traders in order to join this free membership. I have a number of things here inside of the community. You can see that the community is growing. There are people being added almost every single day. And then inside of the classroom, I do have some things here. I'm constantly adding new things, new resources for new traders. And if you go over to the calendar, then you'll see that I have a monthly call with everybody inside of this group. So if you want to join this community, go ahead and go to school.com/traders and I'll see you there. And that actually leads me into my next thing that I want you to look at is execution speed and the platform stability. Now, of course, brokers have maintenance periods, so obviously don't trade during those times. But when it comes to executing, pressing that buy or a sell button, when it comes to that, you want it to be as quick as possible. So if it's not as quick as possible, you could experience something called slippage. And basically that's just nothing you can do about, but it also eats into your profits as well. Because if you have high spreads and slippage, basically it's going to be really hard for you to make money inside of that broker. So these are other things to look at as well. So one of the things that I like to do is during those high news events like CPI or NFP, just open up my market during that time and just look at the spreads. And then sometimes if I'm feeling a little risky, I may take a 0.01 lot and then just execute it and then just get out really quick just to see how long it takes for that order to be filled and then how long for that order to be exited, and then also how much slippage I experienced during that time period. I just want to see for myself. So it's just basically an in and out thing. I'm not trying to hold it, not trying to shoot for the fences, none of that. I just want to see how quick it is. So that way, if I understand how fast it moves or slow it moves inside of a high volume news event, then what I could possibly experience when it comes to normal times, normal volume. So it's just a little tip and something that I do myself. So when it comes to these brokers, they may be offering something like 0 commissions or something like that. I usually don't sign up for those type of accounts because basically they make it up in the commissions, or they also make it up in, well, commission in a different way. And then they also may make it up in slippage as well. So that's why those type of accounts are not for me. I rather pay some sort of amount so that way I can get faster execution, because of course, faster execution is going to be the key thing for you in your trading and staying profitable. Okay, so the fourth thing you should really pay attention to is deposits and withdrawals. So there was a broker that I used before where basically it took 3, almost 4 days for me to get my money, and needless to say, that's not a broker that I currently use today. So when it comes to a lot of these offshore brokers, a lot of times they're using Bitcoin or Ethereum or some sort of cryptocurrency basically, and it's lightning fast. So almost instantaneous for some of the cryptocurrencies. And it shouldn't take 3 to 4 days for it to be approved or for me to be able to get my money. So with the broker that I'm currently using, and of course I'm going to share that with you in a moment here, the speed is really, really quick. And we'll talk more about that. But when you're looking at your brokers, you want to make sure that the time that people get money is really fast. And you can find that information just by going to Reddit or just general Google searches and just seeing what people are saying about the withdrawal process. Now, it's going to be really quick for you to put money in because they want you to get it in and use it as fast as possible. But as far as getting your money out, that may be a different story, and it's something that you definitely want to consider. So if you're enjoying this content so far, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to this channel so that way you can get more content like this in order to help you become a consistently profitable trader and also enhance your trading journey. Okay, so the fifth thing you should focus on is customer support. Are you able to get the answers that you're looking for? Are you able to get the answers that you're looking for very quickly? And what is the quality of those answers? Also, are they sending you to a generic website with generic information that doesn't really help anybody? So you want to know those things before you decide to invest a lot of money inside of the broker as well. So a lot of times these brokers will have chatbots and they'll have an estimated wait time. That's cool. And if it's, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something like that, and then it could be really frustrating to sit there and wait for that amount of time and then get an answer that's not really useful. So those are just different things that you can check out. And a lot of times you can check that information out before you even sign up for the broker. You could just let them know, hey, I'm considering this broker and I have these questions. And then you could just have a back and forth conversation with a person in chat or an email. So just focus on the things that I talked about, the quality of the answers. Is it fast? And did you get everything that you were looking for? So those are just some of the things, and you could do that before you even sign up. Okay, so this is the part that everybody has been waiting for. You want to know, which broker do I use? So I am now using Liquid Brokers, and basically I've been using them for almost 6 months now, or at least I've had an account for almost 6 months. So what some of you may know is that if you had an account with Sway Markets, sometime at the end of 2024, what they did is they sold all of their American accounts to these people, and bam, you got a new account with these people. So it's actually really good. It's the same experience that I had with Sway. I really like Sway a lot. So all of that is basically the same. Of course, if you want to do your own research, as you should, go ahead and do that research for yourself. Now you have all of the criteria that you need inside of this video. So if you need to run something back and look it up, go ahead and do that for yourself. But for me, I really like the spreads on gold. They're usually really tight. So the example that I showed you earlier with the bid and the ask, that was from Liquid Brokers when I was actively inside of a trade. So I'd like to, like I said, look at that data and just see if it's pretty much consistent, and it has been so far, especially during the times that I trade. So that's going to be really helpful for me in maintaining profitability. And then also when it comes to withdrawals, I'd have several withdrawals from this company and I haven't had any issues so far. Basically, it takes, I think the max I've experienced maybe a couple of hours, and then putting that right into my crypto account and having no issues there. So that's something that has been good for me so far. And then the platform is stable. They have really good communications about maintenance periods and then other information. And then they also have some other things that I'm not really, looking for, but some people may. They have these different trading challenges where you can win prizes and stuff like that. So that is also really cool if you're looking for that sort of thing. And then once again, about the regulation, they are regulated in Australia. They do have a number. I did look it up, and then I just remember getting busy and didn't follow up. But like I said, in my mind, this is going to be an unregulated broker. So I will proceed with caution, as you should as well. And, it doesn't really matter to me at this point because I've been using them for a while and I do like them. So if you want to use this particular broker, you can go ahead and check out my link in the description box below. I will greatly appreciate it because even though it's not a whole lot of money, it's some kind of money in order to support this channel and in order to pay the people who edit and manage and do all the other things in the background that you don't see in order for me to continue to make these videos. So go ahead and check out that link in the description box below. So just to let you know, even though I do like this broker, if something happened that I didn't like, I will be happy to switch. So I do not have any loyalty to this company or any company because at the end of the day, I am looking to remain consistently profitable and I'm looking to also protect my money, especially we all know how hard it is to make money at times inside of the market. and all the worry, the planning, and all of that. Like, I don't want that to just slip away from some broker that is not trustworthy. But like I said, so far I really like this broker, and I will continue to stay with them as long as I am happy. And you should do the same thing. So if you are happy with this video and you have a lot of nuggets in order for you to use now to evaluate different brokers, go ahead and comment the word broker inside of the comment section below. Of course, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff in order to make sure that you don't miss any of the other videos that I have on this channel. I'll see you next time.